Mr. Chairman, and congratulations to each of you. We're pleased that you are here. Judge Davis, I want to come to you. I'd like to talk a little bit about the Priorities USA versus Nestle case. And I want to be sure I'm understanding this right. So, Priorities USA is a progressive organization, and they challenged Michigan election law that was aimed at preventing a kind of voter fraud that is known as vote hauling. Is that correct?
The Sixth Circuit found that that was the reason for that particular law.
Okay. So vote hauling can be a form of bribery, which is paying a voter to get to the polls and to get themselves and their family to the polls. And so you enjoined Michigan's enforcement of this law, correct?
Senator, I want to be, before I answer your question, I just want to be clear. Will be somewhat limited in how much I can comment on that particular case because it's still pending before me. But the short answer to your question is that I enjoined enforcement of that particular statute.
All right. You know, we've had a lot of discussion about election law, and we should make it easier to vote, and we should make it harder to cheat. So I would like for you to walk me through your understanding of the state's authority to regulate its own elections, as well as where are the limits on that authority?
Thank you, Senator, for the question. With respect to election law, the state has authority to regulate its elections. However, if during the course of that it burdens any constitutional right, then there is an analysis that has to be applied, and you look at what the level of burden on the right is. So if it is a minimal burden, then rational basis review will follow. If it is a heavy burden, an undue burden, then strict scrutiny will apply. And if it's something in between, then you apply the Anderson verdict test, where it's an intermediate level of review.
So was it your opinion that vote hauling should be allowed?
Senator, no. So
why did the circuit reverse you on that?
The issue of, and I'm just trying to be careful so that I'm not going outside of the bounds.
Right, and I appreciate that.
And the issue of vote hauling, as that term is used, was something that was argued before the Sixth Circuit. I was not familiar with that terminology before that.
Okay, so do you believe that the Constitution has the right to say to the state legislature, do you believe in the provision that states that a state legislature has the responsibility to set the time, place, and manner of election? Do you believe in that constitutional delegation to the states?
That's consistent with the law, yes.
All right. I want to talk to you a little bit about your judicial philosophy, your responses in written questions from Senator Booker when you were nominated for the district court. You said that you did not consider yourself to be a textualist or an originalist. So what is your judicial philosophy?
As I stated when I was speaking with Ranking Member Grassley, while I don't subscribe to a particular label, what I indicated is that the manner of analysis that I apply in any given case is based upon the precedent in that area. So, for instance, if there's a statute that I'm looking at, as Justice Kagan said, we're all textualists. We're going to start with the letters that are on the paper in front of us, and we are going to begin there. Next, we're going to look to precedent. We'll look to the structure of the structure and context of the actual statute, and so on. Additionally, the Supreme Court has stated in particular areas that there is an analysis that should that should be undertaken. So for instance, in the area of Second Amendment, the Heller decision has said that original meaning is what you look to in interpreting the Second Amendment. Similarly, in Crawford, which involved the Confrontation Clause, that's also an area where original meaning is the manner of analysis. So I would always follow what the Supreme Court precedent says in terms of the manner of analysis that should be used.
Thank you. I appreciate that. My time has expired. Judge Freeman, I have some questions on incarceration in the prison system that I'll submit to you. Thanks,
Senator Blackburn. Senator Coons.